Welcome to T-Jack Survival. Today I'm making a video on how and what to pack for winter camping. Stay tuned. So, winter camping. Now, with winter camping, I really think there's kind of two winter campings. One's in the spring-fall area when it's wet and nasty, and the other's kind of right in the dead center of the winter when it's dry and cold and there's copious, large amounts of snow. It is November, well, the back half of November, almost December in Utah, and in northern Utah, and I'm getting ready to do some winter camping in that possibly rain, possibly wet, nasty time of the year. So, keep that in mind when I show you what I'm packing. Now, first off, every time I use this bag in a YouTube video, someone asks me what it is. This is the Caramore SF bag. It's a bag that the Special Forces, the British Special Forces use. It's awesome. It's thick, robust. I'm a big fan of Alice Packs, Maxpedition Gear, Grey Ghost, Tactical Tailor, Caramore. I want it to be robust and strong so that I can drag it down the mountain and not rip a hole in it and regret that I brought it up there. So, anyway, that's my Caramore SF bag. Like most bags, it has a pouch in the bottom and then your main compartment up top. For the most part, there's really nothing that belongs down here but your sleeping bag. So, I have a 3-layer military type Gore-Tex covered sleeping bag. I've thrown it inside one of the old school waterproof bags, and that's what I'm going to use in the bottom of my sleeping bag. Now, a lot of people will throw it in through this hole. However, I've found that it's a lot easier to tilt your bag up, and there's a drawstring in the dead center of this bag. Just drop it down there. Now, the one thing that I'm doing here that I wouldn't normally do, at least not for a summer camp out, is put it in this dry bag. This is the old school military issue dry bag that you can clamp and wrap here. I'm going to do that just that much. I'm not going to tie it off because I still need to let all the air out of it. You can put it in a compression bag, but why? I just don't see the necessity of doing that when I can drop it down in my sleeping bag or in my backpack like this. Compression bag will make it tight, but if you don't need the weight, don't bring it. Just no reason for it. And again, I didn't completely ratchet down my dry bag. I just folded it over because I don't plan on swimming through anything. I just want to protect it against rain and snow and stuff. So it makes it easier to put it in the bottom when I do that. Alright, now that I've got that packed up, the next layer of stuff is, what am I going to use when I get to camp, but I won't need between now and then? I say that because if you put your gloves in now, you're not going to be able to get them when you get to the trailhead and you actually need them. That's something that goes in your side pack. The other thing is, what's heavy? What have I got that's heavy? I don't normally bring this guy right here, but this is a little communication kit. This is a battery with a 12 volt, it's a 12 volt battery with a 12 volt connector that I use Anderson Power Poles to connect. And this will keep my ham radio going for a constant broadcast of 36 hours. Way more electricity than I need for what I'm doing today. But this is a perfect example of, I would put something soft in here and then put this right between my shoulder blades. Your heavy stuff needs to go high in the back between the shoulder blades. Don't stick it in the bottom of your sleeping bag. It starts thumping on your hips, and that's uncomfortable. So the big takeaway is, where do I put my heavy stuff? High and on the shoulders. So put something in and then stick it close to your back. That's why your water, that's why your Camelback goes right here in the middle of your back, because it's heavy. And there's no reason why you can't put something heavy like this right on top of that Camelback. If you look at the old Alice packs, they had a little pocket right there. That was for a Prick 77 or Cingar or very heavy type radio to go right against the frame, right on your back. So that's where you're going to put your weight. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to pack in this bag is my Seek Outside 8-man teepee. This is huge, but I want to go try and use it. It's something that I've been given to demo for a Blade HQ, Knife HQ channel thing that's coming up in the future. These two right here, this tent, it looks a little bulky, but it's going to compress down. This 8-man teepee system is lighter weight than my 2-man my 2-man tent. This is just shocking how lightweight and robust these are. So anyway, I've got my sleeping bag in, and I'll stick that in next. Smash the air out of it, get it nice and close to the bottom. The next thing I'm going to want is my stove. This little guy is a pack. That is a full-blown titanium stove and pipe and everything. As you can see, I've used it. It is shockingly light. Very nice to put it in this little bag. It's got a little flue right here to adjust the burn control. You zip that up, and that's going to go right down my spine. Okay? The only thing in my bag that will be closer to me is my Camelback water bladder. Alright, so now that I've got my sleeping bag, my tent, and my stove, I'm going to go fill up my Camelback and throw that in as well. Okay, so a little bit about water. Camelbacks are great until they freeze in the cord. So during the winter time, either bring both and sleep next to this, or just bring canteens. Me, I'm going to drink the majority of this on the way in. So that's why I'm going to bring it. And then if I need to, I can melt snow or purify whatever else and refill it on the way out. Okay. Again, I want quick access to this, so I'm going to stick it down that side pouch and have access to it. And go ahead and route all of this stuff. Now I got my lightweight poles. Slip those down the side. If you haven't checked out Seek Outside stuff, they make some incredibly lightweight equipment. If you want to dial your weight constraints down, they are definitely worth the check. Now this Caramore bag came with a waterproof cover. I just throw it in here with some fire starting stuff, and then I'm going to throw these tent poles right on top there so that I can have quick access to them. That little pouch is nice. Sits right there in the front. Okay, clothing. All of my extra clothes, underwear, socks, that kind of stuff are in a Grey Ghost bag. I then Nick waxed coated it so it's not waterproof but very water resistant. Essentially get rained on and keep my stuff dry. Now, if I had more insulating stuff, I would have filled this dry bag up completely and stuck it all on the inside of this main compartment. But I really don't have anything else that needs to be drier than this, so I'm just going to leave that out for now. Okay. Alright, so all the little piddly stuff that I have left, I'm going to throw in the external compartments and packages. I'm bringing this camp axe because I want to be fast and efficient when processing wood for my stove. This is a, who makes this? Browning makes this axe just ridiculously fast at chopping through medium to small stuff. In the winter, you want an axe and a saw. Sometimes the wood's dry, use the saw. Sometimes it's frozen, use the axe. So dependent upon your conditions, you really want to bring both. This is a Sven saw. It builds into a little triangle. I'm sure you can see that on my other videos. And I'm just going to throw that right here in this outer pouch. And then I have an Emil Banks Sparrowhawk. Incredibly sharp, small hatchet to process this small tinder making. It's good for splitting pelvic bone for deer, moose, elk. Just to move through the small stuff real fast. I love using this little hatchet. Little tomahawk. I always call it a hatchet, but whatever. And then my large axe, you can treat this like an ice climbing tool. Drop it right in that little holder, and then fold it up like this, and have it hold. Let me strap this down first. So that way you have it on the outside of your pack. You've got quick access to it, and it's not awkward and flopping around on the inside of your bag. So for those of you that didn't know what these little dangly straps were on the bottom of your pouch, or the bottom of your bag, they are for ice climbing axes and glacial trekking axes and camp axes, if you have a small enough head. So here's my fire kit. I have a little tinder bundle. Smash it down a little better. And I just stuck it inside of a dry bag. That way it stays dry, and that actually works when I need it. Okay, I'm going to slip that right here on top. Actually, I want a little more rain protection, so I'll stick it inside of this. There's a pouch on the bottom of the top, and inside of it I have a large garbage sack. There's so many things you can use this for. You can put it on the ground. You can make a poncho out of it. You can put meat in it. You can make a solar still. Just, it's lightweight. Keep one in your bag. So there's my kindling, my tinder. And then I have a char cloth tin, a striker, and some char, and a piston. That's how I'm going to make my fire. Yeah, I can throw a Bic in there. I know. I want to do it this way. Thank you. Magnesium and steel striker, in case I'm in a hurry. I want to make fire quick. Alright, now I've got a little bit of a cooking bundle here. And inside of it, I have, this is olive oil in a straw. I clamped it down with a pair of pliers and burned to the end, and then just poured it in there, and then did the same thing to the other end. My daughter chewed on it. So anyway, but that's olive oil in a straw, and that I'll be able to cook anything I need with that. And inside of this little thing, I've got lime and salt and cinnamon and honey and all sorts of stuff. A little bit of toilet paper, some 550 cord, Visine for your eyes, a couple of different medicines like Benadryl, which helps you sleep and takes care of allergies, acetaminophen for headaches and stuff, and then lemon pepper and salt. I throw this in there for when I catch fish. One of the better things I've found. This really soft pouch, we just throw that on the outside for quick access. A little signal mirror, just in case. Leave that in with my fire kit. Okay. Here's the main knife I'm going to use this weekend. This is a Bark River Drop Point Hunter. Mike from Bark River sent this to me. We demoed it this couple weekends ago with Knife HQ up in the, where are we at? We're in the Brooks Range doing some long-term bushcraft survival stuff. This thing's awesome. I did not think it would be a very good bushcraft tool because of the convex edge. I stand corrected. I made a bunch of little figure 4 deadfall traps and squirrel traps out of this. Work great. Super lightweight, great for skinning because you can put your finger on here, take care of the skin of an animal without ripping the gut. I've got 2 or 3 rabbits that I've killed with my bow with this, and it just tears them up. I had a fillet knife that didn't work as good as this knife, which that kind of blew my mind, I must admit. That and my fillet knife was a little bit dull. Anyway, so I'll throw that on top for now. Alright, now I need to get my mess kit and throw that in. Alright, so here's my mess kit. I have some large MSR pans with smaller ones inside of it. The reason why I like to do that is it gives me drinking and eating, or it gives me the opportunity to fill this with a bunch of non-bread, or not non-bread, bannock bread. Put a couple little pebbles on the bottom of there to hold it up, and then put it in there so it's not physically touching that outer can, and then put the lid on, and I can put it in coals and that will bake it on the inside. Or I can even use this smaller one and leave the lid off and let it rise and bake on the inside of there. So if you have a big one and a little one, you can turn it into an oven. And the last thing, I don't have anything in here right now, but if you've got, chocolate or powders or whatever you're going to eat, hand sanitizer, soap, all the little cooking stuff, just stick it in a Ziploc bag in the inside of this little one, because it's utilizing space, and it has it right there where you need it, when you need it. We'll put all these guys back together. And then lastly, I just bought a wire at Lowe's, crimped the two ends of it, and then I can slide it over this, hang that above the fire on a stick, and I can open pan cook whatever I want to cook, then just move the stick to take it off and put it back on. I really like that. So that's my mess kit, because it's got a little weight to it, like I said earlier. You want it kind of up in the middle part of your back. That way you're carrying the weight more correctly. So a little discussion about what I'm putting in the very top. This is stuff I want quick access to. Okay? Some stuff that I leave in here all the time. This is this little plastic bag with, there's hot chocolate and toilet paper and salt and hand towels. This is moleskin for your feet. Little servat, which is a cloth that you can use for a bandana or for its intended purpose, which is to sling your arm if you broke it or whatever. And then my knife. This knife I'll put on my hip later on. I have two knives. I'm going to do some hunting. A skinning knife and a bushcraft knife. Do I need this? No, I want it. This works better with wood. This works better with handling meat. My little communications bag. If you want to know the contents of this, I have another video. Just reference my channel and go ahead and watch that video. I'll show you everything in here. Basically, it's just ham radio communications. But I want that to be quickly accessed. So I stick it up top. I have two forms of light. Two headlamps. Right? I love headlamps. They're just too easy. This one can detach and you can use it by your hand, but I just never see a need to take it off my head. So anyway, and then I have one set of lithium and 1, 2, 3 batteries for both of these headlamps. You can adjust this one to use, this is a Phoenix headlamp. You can make it use the lithium batteries or the 1, 2, 3 batteries, and it's nice to have for extended camping and so forth, for survival, whatever. It's nice to have the same battery type for everything. I happen to have a whole bunch of AA lithium batteries, so I'm just using those right now because I'm not going out for very long. Okay. I have two types of gloves. These are fishing gloves. They work